Hi guys! Today's video is called Common Multiples and Common Factors, and the purpose of this video is to teach you what common multiples and common factors are, and also how to find them, and also what the greatest common factor and the least common multiple are and how to find them. So for today's video, you're going to need your glossary to copy some definitions down, and you'll need a piece of scrap paper and a pencil to do some practice at the end. So let's start with common multiples. How to find common multiples is to list the multiples of two or more numbers up to a certain point. I say up to a certain point because multiples could go on and on to infinity. So usually you're told list the first 6 or list up to 100. So I've listed the multiples here, 4 and 3. Notice that I've included 4 and 3 in my list because that's the first multiple of each of those numbers. So 4 times 1 is 4 and 3 times 1 is 3. Next, you're going to look through the list and find out what numbers they have in common. I like to circle the ones that I see they have in common. So I can see that both 4 and 3 have 12 as a multiple. And if I keep looking down the list, they both have 24 as a multiple. And let's see if there's any others. Yes, they both have 36 as a multiple. So the common multiples between 4 and 3 are 12, 24, and 36. And that's it. So now I want you to take a minute, pause the video, and copy the definition of a common multiple right here. Okay, now that you're back, let's talk about what the least common multiple is. So basically, the least common multiple is just what it sounds. Which of the common multiples is the smallest, or the first one you come across in the list? So in the example above, we said the common multiples were 12, 24, and 36. So which of those is the smallest? Well, 12. So 12 is the least common multiple of 4 and 3. Now, again, take a minute to copy the definition for least common multiple. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about common factors now. So, just like with common multiples, you're going to start with a list for common factors. You'll list the factors of each of your two numbers, or 3 or 4, however many you're looking for. I've got 2 in the example. And then you're going to look for any factors that they have in common. So I've listed the factors of 24 and the factors of 36, and I'm going to go through and circle any numbers that show up on both lists. 3, 4, 6, 12, and that's it. So the common factors between 24 and 36 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. That's it. So take a minute, pause the video, and copy the definition for common factor right here. Okay, now one more thing, we have to talk about the greatest common factor. So you'll start by finding what the common factors are between two numbers, like we did in this example here. We came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And which out of those factors is the greatest or the biggest? 12. Simple as that. Now I want you to pause the video again and copy the definition of the greatest common factor. Okay, one more thing to do today, and that is some practice. So I want you to take a look at this practice page that I've created. And the way I do practice in the videos is I'm going to show you the problem. You're going to pause it while you solve it, and then when you hit play, you'll get to see the answer. Today I'm not going to work through how I got the answer, but just show it to you. So first, find the common multiples and the least common multiple of these two sets of numbers. Pause the video and come back when you're ready. The answer right here. This is the answer to number 1, and this is the answer to number 2. Okay, next let's have some practice finding the common factors and the greatest common factor. I want you to find the common factors and the greatest common factors of those two sets of numbers. Pause the video. All right, here's your answer. Number 1 and number 2. Notice that the answer to number 2 is 1. Sometimes that happens. The greatest common factor is the only common factor, which is 1.